NCRP Productions presents Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands, Episode 30. Good evening and welcome to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. This is Barry, your Game Master, and boy, after last week and a tension dragger, I'm going to run around the room and we'll start figuring out what's going to happen. Pedro.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I'm playing Dr. Desmond Wright, and I was part of that tension.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Frankie the Undertaker.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty. I'm running Ray Callahan, our pugilist.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wolfe, who is currently taking a nice little nap.
Hi, this is Matt. I'm playing Aiden, and I'm not getting paid enough for this.
Hi, this is Jill, and I'm playing Raya the Mourner.
I was hoping for the I'm too old for this shit. That's what I was waiting for.
Well, I was almost going to go with my new name's Aiden the Soiled.
That's right, your brown pants.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so last week we had what we off-screen had talked about as being the Battle of the Doctors. Didn't end up being that in at least in the way that we had thought. Dr. Wolfe had entered the Box Canyon and had let out his challenge to Dr. Wright, and immediately everyone got in his way. So we ended with the battle where it took almost everything from everyone to take down Dr. Wolfe. So I will go over the list that I built for you. Dr. Wolfe presently, before collapsing, has a cut to the face, a cut to the neck from ear to the shoulder. Open wounds in both those cases. There is a bullet shot that tears the eye up to the top of the skull. He's been hit with triple trank. In addition, he was stuck with a number of other things that did not appear to affect him. Werther, which didn't outwardly do what it was supposed to do. A triple dose of trank. There were a number of other things injected into him. There were a few failures, but overall, he is drugged up. From our regular cast of characters, Cal is out front. Marud is out front. Dr. Wright, oddly, is back inside the cave, since he's the other half of the battle. The rest of you are all out, most of you around Dr. Wolfe's body. So we're going to begin there. As the tension starts to leave now that he's out, all of you are going to realize how freezing cold it is outside. What are we doing?
Remind me, did I have enough time to finish at least bandaging my leg?
You have pulled the bullet out and bandaged your leg.
Okay.
That's as far as I know you got.
Excellent. And that's
You were doing that instead of what Cal asked you to do, which was take care of the sick.
Yes. Okay, so that's at least treated for now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, the doctor is just going to he's going to realize that it's cold, put back on his jacket, and at this point, stand here and wait for somebody to tell me what they would like me to do, because I've been given very explicit instructions.
Okay. Inside the cave, for you and the other people that are here, which is Billings, Mei Ling, and a number of Bedouins, you have the cots have been set up around the cistern. You have lamps at the edges of the cistern set up so there's some mild light. It's cool, not cold in here as you sit close to the cistern. As you move to the front through the rocks that have dropped here, as you move to the front, it gets colder. So for the outside people, let me ask what people are doing then. I'll get you started. Frankie, what is going on with you? You have a number of problems. Frankie has been bitten deeply in the right thigh. It's called an incapacitating wound and is causing you an inability to stand up. Additionally, you have a chest flesh wound.
Yeah, so is Dr. Wolfe just like on the ground in front of us now?
Dr. Wolfe has completely collapsed in front of you. He is still looking large like the throat, the slightly larger than he would normally be look. None of the wounds that you guys gave him are closing post the time at which he did the time at which he got stuck with the Werther.
I want to make it very clear, nobody here besides the doctor that is unconscious should know that that's Werther.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see a reason why anyone else would. I'm using it as a descriptor.
Oh, I know. I just want to make it clear that anybody of the long timers, I have never told you I had this. You don't know.
What if you have Alchemy of 3? Could you?
You can. If you have Alchemy of 3, you can try and
But
figure
you would
it out.
have to have a reason for seeing it. His wound's not closing, and the fact that he is not what he looked like before he left.
Blood shoot out his mouth and ears.
Yeah,
and eyes and stuff.
that you will not get anything from the alchemy roll for that.
Okay.
That is definite. Oh, shoot! And forgot, there is yet one more thing in his system. There's tsetse venom.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So, yeah, Dr. Wolfe is yikes.
So does it look like he's not going to be shrinking down? Like, has he changed at all since he fell?
There's nothing to suggest one way or another. He has not changed shape, that slight reduction, the pullback from the ridge brow, the change in the overall feel of the skin, the way that the arms are slightly bent, the knees are slightly bent in, that move to the kind of Hyde-like look as opposed to the Dr. Jekyll-like look. So no, you don't see that he's changing back, which in some ways you would have expected, because another thing that was jammed into him was the reversion serum. There was actually a reversion serum that was marked with Frankie's name on it, and a reversion serum that was marked with Wolfe on it.
Actually, are those needles still stuck in his back?
I would not think that any. So
I didn't pull them out.
yeah, I'm going to say this to the group. I know that things got really heated last time, but the group are all traveling companions. And at many instances, people were saying, I'm not trying to kill him. I'm not trying to. In fact, I do not remember a point at which even Raya, who started striking the head, said, I'm trying to kill him now. So I don't believe people would leave needles in. Now, you think you left the syringe in, it potentially is still in there.
I mean, yeah, I would have probably stoppered it in and put it in there just so it
Okay.
didn't get
Well,
So-
I mean, if he fell backwards, it would have just dented, bent, and probably snapped. So he might have a needle in
He
the
might
middle.
have actual needle
Yeah.
tips in him. That's
Well,
not much better.
He fell
He
forward.
They fell forward?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, there's just funny needles sticking
So,
out.
Yeah.
yes, there are going to be a couple of needles, too, then, based on that are still sticking out of him.
Frankie thinks that death would be a kindness to anyone who's cursed like they are. So
Okay.
he's not going to bandage any wounds or anything. He's going to pat him on the shoulder and then stand up and start cataloging his own wounds.
Okay. And you're not standing up. You go to stand up and you stumble back down. That wound is bad.
I have tough, so I can still, like, walk on it. I just can't.
Okay? You're going to
I
power
don't-
through it?
Yeah, just to get out of the open.
Okay, so are you now drag yourself back into the cave? Is that where we're going?
First, I'm looking to Raya to see what she's doing, if she's okay.
All right.
I will actually go to help Frankie.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I'm going to look over at Marood and ask him if he can pick up Dr. Wolfe.
I can bring him in if that's what you
bring
wish.
him in.
We're bringing that thing in.
We have to.
He will freeze to death out here.
I mean, we can tie him up and restrain him as best we can, but we have to. He's probably dead already, but we can't let him die out here.
He still has a pulse.
Don't forget,
He is still
Ray.
breathing.
Yeah, don't forget, Ray. The other doctor is not going to give us a hand in there. We need him.
True enough.
Aiden.
Since I'm there and I have the stuff, I'm going to start pulling things out of his back and bandaging him up and
Okay.
seeing what I can do
So,
triage-wise.
different than you would normally expect, you pull out the needle. That is not a difficulty. You would expect as it comes out, not a spurt of blood. This isn't Hollywood. But you would expect a trickle of blood. There is none.
Okay.
Once you remove the needle, it's just a small hole
All right.
that is not bleeding.
All right. So I'm just basically probably going to bandage anything that looks like it could be.
Did you bring bandages with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have 12 bandages in my
Okay.
field kit.
So you'll bandage him up. Very good. And then, are you two walking inside, Frankie and Raya?
Yes. And waiting for the rest of the group to come with us.
Doctor,
I
right?
see them coming, right?
Yes, you will see
Okay,
them coming.
Cool. Do I see Frankie hurt?
Frankie is definitely hurt. Frankie, you would think, looking, that Raya is taking at least 60% of all the strain off of Frankie, bringing it in.
Frankie, my boy. Now, how bad did he get you?
Well, I think I'll mend.
All right, well, Frankie, we don't want that to fester. Raya, would you kindly place Frankie right about there? Let me go ahead and look at that leg for him.
I am actually going to be charging at Dr. Wright.
So you're dropping Frankie and charging him?
Yes, I'm going to be grappling him and pinning him to the ground.
Okay, so let
I have a question.
Let me get there in a sec. So let me start with Frankie. Go ahead and give me a coordination roll to stay up if Raya's just releasing you.
11.
11. So yeah, you lean against a rock. So Raya, before we get completely there, something I'd said last time that I'll reiterate, because for us outside the game, it's been a couple of weeks. There are rocks scattered everywhere, many of them sharp. Running in here, even with the backlit area, running in here is not easy and very dangerous to sprained ankles and trips. Not stopping you from doing it, you can certainly do it. And pinning him to the ground, you will guaranteed be pinning him over a rock.
I'm fine with that.
So then, my question is,
see her face.
do I see her coming at me?
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Because again, you were looking up and you saw Frankie, you were talking to Frankie, and Raya just released Frankie and ran at you.
perfect then.
So go ahead and both of you give me initiative rolls.
And I'm using quick draw.
Okay. For Raya, I'm going to add 2 to your actual initiative roll. Just not 2 dice, just 2 points.
All right. Well, I didn't see this coming.
Nope, I didn't either.
Okay.
What is initiative again?
Initiative is going to be
It's prowess.
2
isn't
die
it?
10 plus your prowess.
Oh.
It was the spirit of the wolf taking over. Right?
Am I allowed to chip this?
You can.
Yeah, sure, I'll chip this.
I have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, I'm getting it again. I thought last week was going to be the whole tension episode.
23.
23.
21.
21. Okay, before we get to the two of you, Ray, what are you doing? Raya is helping Frankie heading back in.
Well, I was walking back just to the cave, and then I see that Raya sprinted
Deeper into the cave.
I'm like, oh no.
So what do you do?
I pick up speed. I think I'm going to have to
And you're going to
pull
run
off
in?
one.
All right, give me an initiative roll as well. Marood is carrying the limp form now that you've gotten all the syringes out.
Yeah, after I got them all banded, I was going to look for one of those things we were carrying people on, see if there was any around
A
here.
litter? No. There is, now that you look, and remember, there is still one cot way out there. You're not going to drag him out to it, but you could go get the cot.
No, that would be the plan, to go get the
Go get the cot.
and then
Okay.
come back and me and Maroon carry it.
All right, so Marood simply picks him up, but if you head out to the cot, Cal says, Aiden, I'll join you. I'll help you bring it in. I think the little boy needs it.
Okay.
And so the two of you will head out. Ray, give me a
24.
24. So your first move in this situation is to run to get in. So you're in and you get to see Dr. Wright.
Okay, so 2 things are gonna happen. This one for all you guys, I've been saving, and I was going to be using it on Dr. Wolfe, but I guess I have to use it on Raya. So, as I see Raya coming towards me, I know there's been some tension between us. I'm anticipating this is not a friendly hug that's coming towards me.
Not the way she's running at you.
So the first thing I shout, and I will shout it, is I shout, Canis Pugnacis! Frankie, stop her! And
Okay.
you
Now, can Frankie resist? Is there a roll for the
Yeah.
code word?
There
So please
is
make the roll.
a resist
Okay.
roll.
It will plus.
Your roll.
Plus concentration or not?
No concentration. Well, I didn't imagine concentration, but I guess if the rules say...
The rules do allow
So
concentration.
then, yeah, then...
All right. What do we have?
8.
Are you re-rolling?
Now let's see where this goes.
All right. So I need an initiative roll from you. You will also be adding 3 to the roll.
Okay. 18.
So an 18. Very good. That actually works perfect for time. Next action.
And then my next action is to take an aimed shot at Raya's leg.
With a gun?
Yeah. I said I quick drawed my revolver.
Okay. All right. Go. It is -3 to hit.
Oh, that's fine.
I believe it's
Sorry,
also
Ryan.
-3 damage.
Oh, and
You
this
said
is-
leg, not foot?
Yeah, leg.
No. Minus 0, plus 0, nothing. None of that. So just straight standard roll.
And this is with my heavy revolver malpractice. Thank you, Matt, for that name.
Okay. I'm already sweating.
17.
So a 17, your coordination is?
My coordination is 5.
Yes, will just hit. Roll damage, and you wear armor. I believe your armor, if I remember correctly, is 2.
It is a +2.
And your vitality?
My vitality is a 4.
Perfect.
No bonuses for the leg shot.
Correct. Leg is literally just a leg.
Okay, that'll work. Oh, wait. Oh, that's 21. Exactly.
So 21, subtracting 6.
Oh, good.
So, again, we will revisit the dodge rules. Raya, you can give up a dodge from, you can give up an action from this round or an action from next round to roll a dodge. This will hit.
Sure, I'll give up an action to dodge.
Okay, so you will need to outroll a 17 with your dodge roll. The standard dodge roll is 2d10, adding in any bonuses you have for dodge, which I think you get the footwork one,
Yes.
plus your coordination. So I think it's +3 for footwork, plus your coordination, plus those 2 dice.
My coordination right now is low as 2.
Doesn't, you're not presently dodging the bullet. You don't get to curve the bullet.
Oh, that's right. She's dodging the bullet. I thought it
Right.
already went.
She's going full Neo right now.
Yep.
No, he's going in.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. Curving the bullet. I went that way.
22.
So a 22. So you take a shot. You got it nailed. And just as that bullet is going straight to it, she slips sideways on a rock and it
Of course
misses.
she does.
Alright. And I only have 2 actions right now. So that's me.
Okay. So then we move to Raya.
Okay, because he shot at me, I am going to... I'd like to take a swing at him with my Exculpus.
So do you have quick draw for the Esculpus?
I do indeed.
And quick draw just means they're out.
Well, quick
Right.
draw gives you you quick draw your weapon. It gives you a +2 on your initiative.
On the initiative. Okay. Very good. It doesn't specifically get them out as an action.
No, you have to use. So you declare it when you're rolling initiative.
Okay. So you'll draw for an action,
Mhm.
and then you will take an attack.
Yeah. I would like to aim to cut off his hand that is holding the gun.
Okay. All right.
I
So a
will
hand.
spend chips and
So-
potentially take corruption to do this.
So it's a -3 to hit, and it is a.
fast draw. It doesn't make an action. I think it specifies that.
I think you have to. So because I'm defending myself, it has to be at your initiative. to it out
I
your
believe
play.
that's right as well. We can look that up as well.
I don't need 2 attacks.
So go
coming
ahead
in.
and give
Sorry,
me
Matt.
your roll. It is at minus.
No, it's okay. I
No,
understand.
you're dead. You're dead.
Yes.
-3, you said?
So you're going to take an attack at -3. Also, damage will be at -3,
18?
and that's with the -3.
Yes.
Okay, and then Pedro, your vitality. Nope, coordination.
Coordination is 2.
So that will hit. That will be a strike. You, of course, have the option to dodge.
I'll try it. Might as
Okay.
well.
Barry, am I there?
You are running in. Your action will be in the process. No, you are in. Yes, you would effectively be there. Okay. Are you looking at trying to interrupt this somehow?
Potentially.
All right. So let me first figure out what happens here, and then I will give you that chance.
And this is a coordination roll.
Correct.
Yeah, sure. I'll try using another one of my rerolls.
Okay. And you do not have free dodge, correct?
Do I have free dodge?
Frankie has an ability called free dodge that gives free.
I have a free parry for melee combat, but I'm not in melee.
You're not in melee.
Oh.
So remember that you will have used one of your actions
Oh, I
from
know.
the next round. Okay.
Oh, I know.
Just letting you know.
I
know.
So, yeah, that's only a 14.
So that will not. So Ray, you see Raya release Frankie and bolt in. Do you have 2 actions or 1?
I have 1 action which I use to move into the cave.
Yes.
I get an additional action as long as it is directly linked to combat.
This will be directly linked to combat. So my question is, what are you looking at doing? Raya is coming in hot, the Sculpus ready, and is swinging at the doctor. She hasn't said or screamed anything. She hasn't done a wolf.
That's
She
the
is-
worst part.
Yeah, right. She just hasn't said anything. She just went.
I have free parry. Can I parry for someone else?
You can.
So I've still got my knuckles out, which these are the clawed ones. right?
Yes.
So I can technically get the blade in between the claws.
Right? Or you can catch the blade on the edge of the claws. So when you're done rolling, let me know what you end up for a roll. What did we get for our highest roll?
14.
14 will not do it. So you step in, but as you're coming in, you kind of slip sideways on a rock. You get close, you put your hand out, and she slices right past you. Go ahead and give me damage.
Okay.
Remember, we're subtracting 3 from the roll.
Do I have the ability to spend chips and rerolls on damage?
No. So we did that last week, and I went and looked. You cannot re-roll damage.
Well,
That was completely my fault.
We were playing hardcore mode.
Yes, we were.
get him, Raya.
Everyone except the
No,
2
but-
doctors who were going no chip.
My epic final battle was just pushed off a week. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, shit.
No, she
So
didn't.
Yeah.
I box card and rolled 2
So
10s.
my hand's gone.
Oh my god.
So
So it's that plus the weapon damage, which is
weapon damage
I almost fainted.
is a +2.
plus 2. All right. And your vitality?
My vitality is a 4. So
Not a double 10.
Okay.
Really?
It's 26.
All right. So then, Doctor, do you have armor? I don't believe so, but I'm asking.
I do. I have, well, I specifically have actually gauntlets. That's the only
Okay.
armor I brought with me.
All right.
But it's only 3, so it doesn't help me.
Okay. And then your vitality.
Oh, my vitality is 4. That does help me a little.
So, this is what you guys see. Raya steps in, swings. If you're watching, Ray comes in, gets very close to stopping her. She swings around it. She strikes his gauntleted hand that is currently holding the gun. It digs in deep, but you do not see the hand come off. You have in your hand an incapacitating wound.
Okay.
Which means you will be rolling to hold on to the gun. I don't think it's going to happen.
Can I still use it, though, if it's incapacitated?
Yes,
so
for,
it just drops.
You
for a
could slap
short
her like
period,
that.
it will still have some capability. But we're going to see what happens to start with. So let me start with DR11 vitality roll. Start with that.
Oh my god.
That is 16.
16. So you are successful. You do not immediately become helpless. Now, you are -3 coordination, -3 to all skill rolls until it's treated. It is inflicted on the hand. The target immediately drops anything held, so the gun clatters to the stones below. Other than that, it's where you're at dealing with it. You haven't. By the way, something else. Nobody has this concern, but if your number of untreated incapacitating wounds is ever equal to your vitality, you die. No one's even close.
So does the negative stack with my other negative, or does it take the highest?
Which was your other negative?
Well, I had the serious wound to the left leg.
Yes, if it is not the same level wound. So 11 serious wounds will only give you a -2 once. But if it's a flesh or a serious, it will add to the incapacity.
Okay.
So you only get each wound level once, but you may tie them all together.
So it would be. So read what your incapacity did again.
Incapacitating is -3 to coordination, -3 to skill rolls.
So then I would have a total of -5 to my skill rolls and then -5 to my coordination.
Yes.
Okay. So then what happens if can that reduce my coordination to 0?
Cannot reduce it below 0,
Okay.
below 1.
So it's 1. Okay.
Yes, at present.
All right. So 1.
So, Raya, I think you have another action or not?
I don't because I used
Okay.
part of my action to pull my weapon.
Michael.
I have one question. I don't want to add more to it, but this is a clarifying question simply because I had an incapacitating wound to the torso. Does he roll on a crit table as well for it?
Depending on where the wound is, hand does not have that.
Interesting. Okay.
Generally because the hand is going to be on or off.
Yeah, I got you. makes sense.
There may be something fun to go with it, but not specifically. So, we now move down to Frankie.
So as soon as Dr. Wright says those words in Latin, Frankie kind of glazes over in his eyes and he starts running for Raya.
Okay, so let's step back And Pedro, tell us about the code word that you had implanted in Frankie that, by the way, for the table that you guys know, Frankie is unaware of this word.
Cutting back to the years that Frankie has been helping me. So for years, Frankie helped me, go out. He would go and get body parts that I would need or things, and I would pay Frankie. And I slowly started to realize that Frankie is a very capable, companion. He's a good boy. And then I was like, well, I can really use Frankie around me as a bodyguard of sorts. And as sometimes folks do in this work, they can get a little mentally unstable the longer they do it. So what the good doctor thought is, why not start with classical conditioning at first, then fall to psychological, pure psychological, and then go to chemical, combine those all together, putting a code word, so that in cases that he needs to, Frankie could listen to the doctor a little better. Open his ears up. So Frankie is unaware of this, and it does have a nice side effect of Frankie following with the doctor, staying close to the doctor, siding with the doctor. Frankie is a good friend of mine.
So you made Pavlov's werewolf.
Yes. And when Frankie had the incident, I was curious as well. I haven't had a chance to use it as Frankie has transformed. I haven't had a need. I'm also curious to see if it can force Frankie to transform.
My question would be this: in the past, do you envision, because in game, for anyone listening, this has never been used. This is a surprise to everybody at the table except the two that have the situation. Have you used this code word in the past, or is this the first time?
Oh no, I've used this in the past.
Okay.
Frankie does not know. Frankie doesn't recall any of it.
And when Frankie comes out of this, do you have a code word that brings Frankie out? That's question one.
I do, yes.
Okay, do not tell us what it is.
Oh no, I'm not.
But when Frankie comes out of it, Frankie remembers nothing, or Frankie has a roll for a chance to remember something?
I had made it so that Frankie would not remember.
Not remember. All right. So you have told Frankie to
Stop Raya.
And
Frankie usually knows under this state, it is a state of, stop is very specific to this.
Yes. It does not mean kill. It does mean kill.
It generally means kill if I have to use this.
So then I'm going to bring forward another question. We've seen through about most of the Egypt trip and the end portion of the time right before you guys left in Zep, there is a closeness between Frankie and Raya that is absolutely out there. Do you envision that the conditioning has no ability to override at the level of maybe not break it, but not allow Frankie to kill Raya? Simply put, Frankie has feelings for Raya. Whether Raya has realized it or not, we haven't seen in game. But Frankie absolutely does, no question. Would that be able to overcome with a roll of some sort? What is your thinking?
Well, despite my own safety, I say, sure, why not? But just make it, slightly harder than the first roll.
Gotcha. So, real quick, Sequoia, for Frankie, I'm going to have you make a roll.
Okay.
You're going to be adding concentration and will.
18.
Okay, and that was the number I was setting, a DR 18 for it. So you will not break the command. You will not specifically kill if that's what stop means. So, now to Frankie. What is Frankie doing?
He's going to attempt to grapple Raya.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Okay.
So grapple is going to be a standard unarmed combat.
15.
Raya, your coordination is
5.
5. So 15 would not make it.
Okay. I'm not going to use rerolls for this because I think Robo Frankie probably wouldn't.
Okay?
I
I'm
just
good
don't
with
wanna,
that.
I don't want to hurt Raya.
So my only other question that I would ask you, because I don't know all of the special abilities that you have, the talents that you have, is there, I know we have Clap the Bracers, which would allow you to, once grappled, put the person you've grappled into a negative position. Do you have anything that allows you to make a grapple attack or an unarmed combat attack at any greater number?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Do you still have your weapon out?
No.
All right.
Nope, nothing.
So if that's the case, then Frankie, you were unsuccessful in breaking out of it to safeguard Raya. So what do you do? Is the Frankie mind intact in the sense that all tactical advantages?
Oh, yeah.
So you are in a bevy of rocks.
Yeah. So if I don't pull off the first grapple, I think from that point he would just double down and try again.
Let's see another roll. You'll need a 16.
24.
That will do it. So Clap the Bracers now allows you to put her into a submission hold. Is that an action?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't have
It's not.
braces.
It's a you thing.
My opponents are usually knocked
No,
out by
it's-
that time.
I know we've had it a couple of times.
Not that I've ever actually got into combat in this game.
I just expect Ty to know all the specialties.
All my stunts just make me deal more damage or get more attacks.
Frankie runs initially, Raya's able to evade him, and he skids past. But then he uses the the inertia of that almost fall to swing back around. He's able to get Raya into a hold where he's got her arm with the exculpses back up behind her back, and then a foot on her shoulder.
So I want to let you know she has 2. She's drawn 2. 1 for each arm.
The one that she just used to hack the hand.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then a foot in the back, and then one of the arms up so that it, if you move, it'll probably break your shoulder.
And are you pushing her to the ground? Or
Yeah.
All right. Now, would you do anything in the state you're in? So she is an opponent. Would you avoid your opponent face planting into a rock?
No.
Okay. So Raya, go ahead and give me a coordination roll.
And then afterwards, he just looks at Dr. Wright and just waits. And there's no emotion, there's no movement. He's breathing. That's about it.
23.
Okay, so as the pin goes down, you have so much control of your body that you are able to get yourself in the position of not taking any damage from the drop.
Frankie, how could you take his side? He deserves to be punished. For everything he's done, how could you take his side?
There's just the sound of heavy breathing above you, and there's no response.
Frankie always responds to you, just so you know.
I know you hear me, Wright. You deserve to be punished.
You insufferable, incompetent, bull-headed idiot! Do you understand? I am the only doctor here capable. I was the only one capable of helping Frankie, of helping Dr. Wolfe to recover.
Then why aren't you doing it?
Because you attacked me before you even let me. I specifically said, put Frankie over here so I could help him. And what do? You charge at me? Frankie wrenched the arm.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another roll because wrench sounds damaging to me. And I would not imagine you would want to harm a weapon, not just Raya, who you like.
Yeah. 16?
So 16 is going to put you at pause. So do you imagine you have, this is Frankie now, dealing with a not friendly individual. You have this person pinned. You have physical control over this person. You have the weapons fully unengaged. Would you do anything more than cause pain?
No, I think he would just be matter of fact. He would just do whatever the maneuver was and not add any kind of extra sadism.
So
or
there's a
anything.
bit more pain, but not a broken arm at this point. Dr. Wright, I hear you breathing
Yeah.
heavy over there.
Yeah. You are lucky I don't have Frankie rip your skull off of your body, you idiot. Oh my God.
You egged Wolfe on. This is all your fault.
All my fault? I'm the only sane one here. I told you this was a
Shut
cold
up,
air.
both of you!
And with that, I'll let you guys know, for any of you that are looking, Marood shows up with Wolfe in his arms, limp, being carried in standard fireman's carry, and he looks at the group of you who are fairly close together. After that display, Ray's yell, Marood comes close to you and says, "Doctor, I believe now would be the time to sit down."
Ooh. Rude.
Marood?
I have a patient here, and you need to begin working on him now.
As you can see, I may have a little bit of trouble with that, Marood.
I will take care of it. You work on this one. And Marood will set Wolfe down in front of you, moving him so that he's not draped across rocks, so basically serpentining him through there. And he will step over to Frankie, and he will look at Frankie and ask, and lean his head down to you and say, Miss Raya, are you well?
I will be once he lets me go.
Marood, take those damn blades from her, or I will break that arm.
I believe that's acceptable. Miss Raya, would you release the blades into my hands?
Yes, you can take my weapons.
So he takes the weapons, he sets them on the other side of where you are working, where you are standing over Wolfe. I don't know if you're working yet. And then he says, he again looks at Frankie, and then he looks at you and says, you need to allow Frankie to release her body. I will take her with me deeper into the cave.
If the rule is that Raya needs to release her weapons, Dr. Wright should too.
That is not going to happen.
I can't move her from around here, which means you can't do your work if you do not release.
Frankie, let Marood hold on to Raya, and then come to my side.
Okay. What does Frankie
Yes,
do?
and I'll say, and if Raya makes a sudden move, Frankie, kill her.
So Frankie will just literally hand Raya's wrist to Marood,
Uh-huh.
and then robot walk over.
As soon as your pin is released to Marood, immediately you feel all of the strain release from you. Marood actually switches it to where your hands are to your side. He puts his arm around you and says, come with me. And
I'll
you
go
guys
with
will
him.
walk deeper in. Ray, what are you doing? You've seen all this oddness, and Frankie is not acting in any way that you've ever seen Frankie act. I mean, you've seen that there is a connection between Dr. Wright and Frankie.
I'll also,
But not necessarily to this level.
I'll also say, Frankie, draw your headsman's axe. Keep it by your side.
I draw it.
Actually, it's outside.
Oh.
Because it was one of the things that you dropped.
Okay, so Frankie will turn on a dime and start walking
And
out.
start walking out.
Frankie, stop.
Yeah, and he stops.
What weapons do you have on you still? Do you have your sprinkler?
I do not have my
The
sprinkler.
sprinkler did not come.
That's
I
right.
have my throwing knives at this point, and my knuckle dusters are in my pocket.
You have rifle.
And-
Oh, but you can use any weapon at your.
Yeah, I can use
Okay.
anything.
So I'll hand Frankie, or I'll tell Frankie, pick up my revolver there, Frankie.
He'll pick it up.
So
and
this is
he'll-
what you're watching, Ray.
Yeah, and he'll spin the thing to make sure there's
Say,
bullets in
okay.
it, and then take the safety
Okay,
out.
Say-
I was standing right there next to Wright.
Yes.
I would go for that gun.
You would leap for the gun?
Oh
Yeah.
no, Ty. Okay.
All right. So the two of you give me initiative rolls. Ty, I'm going to have you add 3 to your initiative roll.
Ty, she kills you, or he kills you, I'll avenge your death. Okay.
Ray, total.
That is going to be a 13 for me.
Okay, Frankie, total.
22.
All right. So Frankie grabs it first. Both of you reach for it. I mean, you've seen the scene in plenty of movies. Frankie grabs it first. Frankie doesn't turn it on you. Frankie grabs it first.
And he
Well,
checks the
once I
barrel.
see Ray go for it, I'll say, Frankie, point the gun at Ray.
And Ray, the gun is now pointed at you.
Say, Ray, you need to back up now.
Now, one interesting thing I will throw out there for you, Ray, to think about. Marood came in and told the doctor to be a doctor. So far, most of this trip here, since you've been coming out with the Bedouins, he hasn't really done the doctoring thing. Marood told him to. It looks like he's in a position to start. So just throwing that out there for thought. You would notice that. Ryan, when you're brought over to the other side around the cistern, as you get closer, he starts releasing. He says, Miss Raya, I believe we can do much more good here than over there.
I'll help Marood.
So as you're going in, you notice that the remaining Bedouins that are up and standing, not the ones in the beds, are talking quietly in 2 groups. The beds have been spread around the cistern. There are 2 easy accesses to the cistern where there's no bed in the way. Otherwise, they're all in close to it, which means that they're getting the light and they're getting the water. So, Dr. Wright. Well, actually, back to Ray. I'm sorry. What does Ray do?
So I'm not even looking at Frankie or the gun at this point. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, this he's seen before.
Yes.
So
Are you going to wait and see what happens? Standing there?
Not long. I'm just...
Okay. So, Dr. Wright, you have Frankie aiming a gun at Ray, who is presently unmoving.
Yeah, I'll say,
Are you going to begin working on Wolfe now?
oh, I'm going to say, Ray, I need you to get to 10 feet back minimum, or, well, we'll have to see what happens if you decline.
No.
Oh, I've met men like you before, Dr. Wright.
You can be assured, Ray, you have never met a man quite like me. Now, please, again, Ray, I've never had a problem other than your possession with you. Don't start now.
And I'm just gonna walk away, just...
All right, so as he's laughing almost maniacally, he does walk away. So now my question to you, Ray, is going to be this. Distance is not the issue. You're walking away, which means, in my opinion, the gun is pointed at your back. At any point, do you turn back around?
No, I'm gonna walk to the mouth of the cave, and I'm gonna just lay down my back against the wall, and I'm actually just gonna close my eyes and rest.
Very good. So it is cold for you. I'm going to have you give me a vitality roll. The other thing that you will notice is Cal and Aiden are starting to walk the cot back, the one that was left out there.
Have we heard the shooting, or at least the, like...
No, because there has... Oh, wait, was there a shot?
Yeah. He shot at
Yes,
Raya.
you did hear the shot.
Okay.
So you guys might be double timing it.
Yeah, that I would figure.
It was a
running.
single shot, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I only got one shot off.
Oh, you're walking into quite a shit show, my friend!
So he's walked to the front.
Okay. And then, because I know we're in a cave and everyone can most likely hear me, I will shout out, "It is best if everyone knows that if you come within closer than 10 feet of me, Frankie will not take kindly to that. Let me do my work in peace, and keep Raya very far away. We'll have to have a talk later."
So at those words, Frankie's gonna start pacing in a circle around.
Okay,
Right.
very good. So Mei Ling is going to walk over to you, Raya, and she's going to ask, what is going on? This is not the doctor that we've ridden with.
I don't know. But he hasn't been doing any doctoring. And he's been doing nothing but harm to this group. He's put every one of our lives in danger. He egged Wolfe on when Wolfe transformed. He deserves to be punished.
Maybe, and I'm not arguing punishment, but maybe we wait until these poor people are in a position to where they're safe. And Maru just nods his head. You'll see him nod his head. Billings comes over and says, my word, I thought I heard a gunshot. What's going on? I thought we took them all out.
I will not harm Dr. Wright any further while we are out in the desert.
She says, very good. And Maru nods his head again. Billings says, harm? What happened? What's going on? Do you want to tell him? Or are you going to let him just lie there with a question?
I'm just going to let him lie there with a question.
Very good.
Raya's very stoic and mysterious.
Can Frankie please go kill Billings real quick? I'm tired of him. No, Frankie, come back here.
So, Dr. Wright,
Yeah.
you have Wolfe laying down before you. You don't have great light. So, what are you doing?
There's the lantern. They put him near a lantern, right?
No, the lanterns are all by the cistern.
Marud, would you kindly bring a lantern over here so I don't make any mistakes?
Which he does. Not quickly,
Yeah.
because again, the rocks. But
Oh, yeah, I know.
once the lantern is set, and he'll move it a few times to make certain that it's aimed well. What are you doing? Again, the cuts are not healing, which you have been used to with Frankie, and a little bit that you've seen with Wolfe.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Frankie just has... how bad's the wound on Frankie's leg?
Real fucking bad.
So Frankie's wound on the leg is
Incapacitating, right?
very bad. Yes.
I'm starting with Frankie first.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Frankie, come here. Look out into the cave or scan the cave. If anybody comes within 10 feet, kill them. Let me bandage your leg.
All right.
Yeah, I picture Frankie like a little sentry bot.
That's kind of what I figured, but fairly narrow vision, too. Not lacking vision, but very, very focused.
Yeah.
So I would like from you, Dr. Wright, a medicine roll.
So that would be 15.
A 15. Are you going to go with a 15?
Oh, wait. I can take a free reroll from my Peerless Surgeon.
Very good.
One better, 16.
So with a 16, you are able to start cleaning out the wound. What do you have in your doctor's bag? I also know that you know where Wolfe's doctor's bag is as well. But
Yeah,
what do you
I
have
mean-
in your valise?
I don't have a medical inventory of everything, but stuff to first aid. Stuff.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't write down an entire itinerary.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just imagined I
envision
had
that
what I needed.
Okay, you envision that yours is set up to do the medical work that you would normally do.
Yes, it is more medical, less alchemical.
All right, very good. So go ahead and give me a 2d10 roll. I'm going to allow you to subtract 1 from the roll.
8.
So with an 8.
And that was with the subtraction.
Gotcha. So where you are at right now is as you start working on Frankie, you'll notice that Frankie has some muscle damage. And you are thinking that right now Frankie is hyped up on adrenaline. For Frankie, what this means, you are at -1 coordination, cannot run, kick, or dodge until the wound is healed. And you will definitely feel this as you come down. Obviously, your coordination can't go below a 1 with this. The torn muscle doesn't require medical help. It just needs to heal other than you clean it.
Well, Frankie's going to heal in a couple days anyway. This was more...
Do you know well that case?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know Frankie's a throat. And I
didn't mean that, but you know how quickly Frankie heals. All right.
Yeah.
So again, this is currently a level 3. It'll go to 2 and then to 1, and each of the minuses will change each day. The chest flesh wound is exactly that. It's a flesh wound.
Okay.
Now to Dr.
Now to
Wolfe,
Dr.
if you want to. All right. Give me a medicine roll for Dr. Wolfe.
Okay. And yeah, so as I like go over, Frankie's set, I'm going to say,
Frankie, by the way, you will sit now.
Okay.
You will sit because you can no longer stand.
Okay. How many days until it's a serious wound?
1 day, if I remember correctly. The way the throat
Okay.
works for you for healing, it's literally 1 day.
24 hours.
The
24
critical
hours.
conditions take 3 days to heal, but that's way faster than what would be a normal person.
4 weeks normally for this.
So yeah, aside from, keeping Frankie at sentry level, I'll look down at Wolfe.
I wonder if he would sit down.
He has no choice. He will fail. As the adrenaline leaves, his ability to stand on it will fail.
I'm thinking about those, there's, cougars don't have pain receptors, so they would just keep moving even if their leg wasn't working.
The problem is the muscle won't hold it up.
Okay.
And if I see Frankie continuously trying to stand up and falling, I'll
Yep.
command him to sit. And
Yeah, I figured that would
And you
probably
can
happen.
definitely sit on a larger rock, giving yourself a full 360. I don't have an issue with that. You can still fulfill the directive.
so looking down at Wolfe, I just kind of take a moment looking at him.
Medicine roll.
Be like, my boy, it looks like our little game will have to go a bit longer. Maybe one day. You know what? I'll use my personal reroll on that one. Actually, wait. Let me see if I get this per character. Should the character fail medicine skill roll, true stable wound, he may reroll the results. Failed. Okay, so it's per roll. So I'm gonna. That's 21.
So as you are looking him over, you realize something else is going on. Now, again, you know the throat things as they pertain to Frankie.
Mhm.
I do not believe at any point he's ever checked out Dr. Wolfe to have any indication of how the throat serum or the throat bite or the throat infection works on anyone other than Frankie. Is that the way you feel as well?
I mean, so yeah, I would know Frankie and the basics of throats. It's not
Right.
It's not
which
an
is
expertise.
which is pretty limited.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would assume certain things about Dr. Wolfe, but that's about it.
So as you're looking Dr. Wolfe over, the wound should be closing by now. The chest wound on Frankie is already starting to do that. It looks nasty, and you would not like to be owning that wound yourself.
Mhm.
But for Frankie, it's already seeming to be going towards benign. In the case of Dr. Wolfe, there are a number of cuts. None of them are closing.
Okay. So I'm gonna look down at that. Fascinating. And I thought the Werther didn't work on you, but it seems to. And I'm like kind of using, I don't know, is it forceps or something to kind of like, poke and prod. And,
So here would be my question.
Yeah.
In doing that, do you envision that you are simply moving skin around, or are you digging? The idea with digging is effectively causing a new wound, not that you're going to create the wound different.
I'm
just literally moving skin.
Yeah, I'm just looking because I would know that generally these things would start to at least cauterizing, semi-quickly.
Your expectation for Werther is what? What should be happening?
Well, what should have happened is he would be dead. He would have hemorrhaged completely, he'd still be hemorrhaging, and actually would have died after about 2 minutes.
Correct. And that's not happening at all. It's worse than that. These open wounds should be wet with blood. They're starting to coagulate, but they're not closing. You have not dried blood, but drying or not wet.
So I'm gonna make note of that because Dr. Wolfe might be of interest to that when he wakes up and just actually when I'm thinking about going back, I'm like the Ministry of Defense might be interested to know that Werther might be a tactic against throats.
Just give me an alchemy roll.
Sure. And I don't know about the Tetsi poison.
No, you do not. And nobody's told you.
And I believe I have... Yep, so I need to re-roll that.
And Frankie, are you feeling that you are simply an automaton to him, so you have no rational thinking? You're not like, ooh, there goes a butterfly or anything like that. It's like, butterfly, not deadly.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
It's approached within 10 feet.
Okay, so that's an 18.
So an 18. Aiden, you and Cal come in with the cot. As you bring it in, the young man is still looking very, very bad and leaning against the wall where he was first put before the combat outside started. That cot should be for him. Cal's going to walk with you very slowly to get it back around the cistern and place it. Do you want to go back and get the child?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go talk to Roy because he's sitting.
Ray?
Roy.
Or Ray. Sorry.
How many episodes? It's been a while since someone messed that up.
Yeah, you haven't been roided in a
Matt,
while.
you bit that bullet for us. Thank you.
All right. So go ahead and give me, for you, a vitality roll. As you're coming towards the child, again, the smell coming off the child, the goo that is around him is still pretty horrible.
Worse than his pants?
He doesn't have to hold his pants, they're already on.
That's true.
How much?
14.
So with a 14, yeah, it's you overcoming that retching to get him up. You bring the child back, you set him into the cot.
I'm all out of puke.
Right, you're pretty much drained. Right, now it's just
dry heaves at this point.
Everything's come out of me. I just have no fluid whatsoever.
So when you'll set the child in, you can hear the child exhale as you set him down. Not necessarily the death rattle, but it feels close.
I am going to say, need a doctor over here.
Okay. So you say that
Have a
aloud.
look at him.
Well, you see he's working on Wolfe on the ground as you come
Do I
by.
hear that?
Yes, you do hear that.
I'm currently working on that boy's doctor right now.
Something else that you will remember now that you've started to reduce adrenaline, you're probably still shaking and shivering. Akbar was not in good shape either. So there are a number of people that need help at this point that you're aware of. And none of the people that are in the beds look like they're magically healing, which I'm not necessarily certain you guys expected that. But nobody suddenly popped up and said, "Woohoo, I'm in good shape."
Gotta wait 3 days.
The quest is complete.
Well, I'm going to go talk to Ray and see what's been going on.
Okay.
While he's outside, I guess.
So you head back outside. So, Dr. Wright, with the 18, you are starting to believe that a mix of all of the things going into him may be causing this. So, in a normal person, Werther basically has a hemorrhaging, bleed-out effect to him. In addition to that, you know he's been tranked at a higher level than a throat, which already is at a higher level than a human. Okay? You don't know how many of the tranks were successful at getting in there. Additionally, were you aware of the Frankie and Wolfe tranks that were brought out?
The Frankie and Wolfe
The
drink.
ones that said
The
Frankie and
reversions,
Wolfe.
yeah.
Nope. Okay, very good. You wouldn't be aware of the CC Fly one. Was there one other? I feel like there was one more.
It was just the Werther, the 2 reversions, the 1 triple dose of the Trank, and the Tsetse Fly.
So where is the second triple dose that went out?
There was a double dose.
I'm sorry, double dose and triple
I think
dose.
Ray has it.
Does Ray still have it, or was it
Yes.
used? Okay. So Ray still has it. Ray hasn't said anything. I'm not going to force him to say anything. So you think that there is some kind of problem, something going on together. As you start feeling around, at this point you're now starting to remove clothing or move clothing to get in there. You'll notice that his stomach is oddly dark. There's a depth to it. You're thinking possibly internal bleeding.
Okay.
Possibly internal bleeding.
So I'm looking at this. My boy, you are quite damaged. It's amazing what you went through and survived. Well, hopefully you survived. I wish you could hear me now. After all that, I'm the one that needs to heal you up. Sure, maybe you'd survive, but with all this going through your system, I could do so much. I could wipe your mind with sticks right now. I could fiddle in your abdomen and you may die and it would look like an accident or one of the other one's faults. But you know what, Wolfe? And I'm gonna lean down so that, I'm leaning closer. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna do what you have been asking. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to heal you. Hell, I may even heal a few more people here. But I'm going to need to be asked. And I just hope that when you wake up, you take a moment to look around and really think about the choice you made and whether it made a difference here. Because I don't think it did. Maybe it could have been different. And I'm just gonna smack his cheek.
So
The eyes
as you
flicker for a brief moment, and then they close.
So as you slap on his cheek, and you'll notice the change in the eyes, there's a point at which you're starting to set him back down. His body sits up, retches on you, and we will end right there.
I take everything I said back. I'm killing you now, Michael.
I was like, oh man, I know.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-Sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.